Angel. So I've been to the grocery store lately and I'm constantly seeing a ton of fresh mangoes on sale, which has got me craving mango pudding dessert. Now, if you haven't had mango pudding dessert before, they usually sell it at dim sum restaurants, but it's been ages since I've been to a dim sum restaurant. So I thought it would be fun to show you guys how to make mango pudding dessert at home. What I like about today's recipe is that you can control the level of sugar, so that way you can really taste the fresh taste of the mango. Now, today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. More on that later, but for now, let's jump right in and get started. For this recipe, we'll need 1 whole mango, actually 2 cups of mangoes, but for me, I find that this type of mango will give me about 2 cups, which is perfect for this recipe. Now, there's 2 different types of mangoes. I recommend, if you can, find the ripest mango you can find. So this is a champagne mango, and it's gonna be a bit sweeter than this type of mango. But since I have this one and it's more ripe than my champagne mango, I'm gonna go ahead and use this. So 1 really ripe mango. Next, we will need some organic cane sugar. And feel free to adjust the cane sugar in your recipe. We may not need it depending on how sweet our mangoes are. We will also need some gelatin, some coconut milk. Now, there's various types of coconut milk out there. This one is 60% coconut extract, and I really like the flavor and taste of this brand of coconut milk because it's very coconutty. So if you like the coconut flavor, check out this brand. We'll also need some water, and we'll also need some fresh raspberries. And this is just for putting on top of our mango pudding. The first thing we'll need to do is bloom our gelatin. And for that, I'll need to boil some water. Now that the water's boiling, we're gonna go ahead and bloom our gelatin. So I have a bowl right here, and I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of room temperature water directly into the bowl. Next, we're gonna add our gelatin, and if you have Knox gelatin packets instead, go ahead and use 1 packet, and you'll just want to sprinkle this directly over the water. And this is how we bloom our gelatin. And the reason why we're doing this is so that the gelatin doesn't clump up. So just sprinkle a little bit, little by little. I'm using 2.5 teaspoons, but again, if you have the packets, go ahead and use 1 full packet. Once the gelatin is bloomed, it'll have this interesting texture. You can kind of see, it's kind of slimy. And now we're just gonna go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of hot water. Then we're gonna mix that together and make sure the gelatin is completely dissolved. Perfect, that looks good. Now we're gonna cut the mango. And what I like to do is start by cutting off the bottom of the mango, like this. And then with a peeler, I'm just going to peel the outside skin of the mango. Once you're done peeling the mango, I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the sides around the seed. And then I'm just gonna chop them into large cubes. It doesn't have to be perfect because these are gonna go in the blender. I'm gonna set that aside. Now I do wanna reserve a little bit of the mango for garnish, so I'm just going to cut a small piece of mango here. So this piece is going to be for garnish. And I'm going to set those aside in a small dish. So now we want to measure out our coconut milk. So I've got a fresh can of coconut milk here. I'm just going to open this. Okay. That smells really good. And off to the side, I like storing my coconut milk because we're not going to use all of it. I like storing it in a mason jar. So I'm just going to measure out 1/3 cup for our recipe. I'm going to put that in here. And the rest is going to go into the mason jar. So I'm going to cover this with a lid, and then we're going to put this in the fridge because we're going to use this for a little bit later on the topping. Now we're going to put the mangoes and the coconut milk directly into the blender to make the puree. So 2 cups of mango and 1/3 cup of coconut milk. Put the lid on and blend. And don't be afraid to stop and take a look. We want to make sure the mango puree is very smooth, which will give it a smoother texture. Now that it's blended and smooth, we're going to go ahead and put this into a pot and cook over the stove. So I'm just going to put this into a pot. And then we're gonna bring that to a simmer. I'm right-handed. This is a little weird. Now it's come to a little bit of a simmer. I'm gonna go ahead and stir that. Make sure it doesn't burn. Here what we're really looking for is to just cook it so that it's barely hot. Now we're going to add our gelatin mixture. So add that in. So we want to make sure that this is completely mixed in. Make sure to scrape down the sides as well. And once that's mixed in, we can go ahead and do a quick taste test to make sure that the sweetness is to our liking. So I have some spoons for the taste test. I'm just gonna dip my spoon in. That way we're not double dipping. And you just wanna taste it to see, was that sweet enough? And I feel like it could be a little bit sweeter. So I'm just gonna add a tablespoon of cane sugar. You never know how sweet a mango is gonna be until you taste test. So guys, don't forget this step. Taste test again. Okay, 1 more tablespoon. Maybe just a little sweeter. All right, let's try this one more time. Just right. So here I've added 2 tablespoons of cane sugar. But definitely highly recommend that you guys taste test first to make sure that it's the right amount of sweetness for you. So once the sugar is all dissolved, go ahead and turn your heat off. Remove the pan from the heat, and now we can pour it into the dishes. All right, so I have 2 small serving glasses here, and I'm just gonna pour the puree right into the serving glass. One for me, and one for you. Okay, now we're just gonna let this cool and chill in the fridge for at least 3 hours or overnight. Now that our mango pudding is chilled and set, let's go ahead and put on the finishing touches. We're gonna start with a little bit of coconut milk. Just gonna drizzle a layer over the top here. Now I'm gonna put some fresh fruit on top, and I highly recommend you guys use chopsticks for this. It'll just help. So I'm gonna do maybe 2 raspberries on this one, and a couple pieces of the mango. These guys are slippery. Okay. And we're done. Now we're ready for the taste test. But before we do the taste test, I just want to tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, Skillshare. So as you guys know, I play the piano, and if you followed me on Facebook or Instagram, you may have seen me play piano in the evenings. I really like to have dessert and play piano, or bubble tea and play piano. It's kind of one of my evening rituals. Skillshare is an online community of inspiring classes for creators where you can explore new skills and even learn new passions like piano. So I have been playing since I was young, but there was a time where I stopped playing. So I'm kind of at a beginner level, and I'm taking this new class on Skillshare called Learn Piano in 30 Days. And Mark, who is the teacher from P&G Piano, he's a really great teacher. And one of the things that he teaches in his course is how to play piano by ear. And I've never been able to do that, so I'm super excited to take his class. And if you are interested in other classes as well, they have Mandarin learning courses so you can learn how to speak Chinese and maybe order your mango pudding at dim sum. And because Skillshare is sponsoring today's video, the first 1,000 subscribers to click on the link below in the video description will get a free premium trial to their Skillshare membership. And now it's time for the taste test. All right, my favorite part of the video. Got a bit of the mango chunk here. Wow, that was really creamy. The pudding was really smooth, and it's just the right amount of sweetness. It's not too sweet. And because we used fresh mangoes, it tastes really fresh and natural. And I love the coconut milk on top. If you guys don't want to use coconut milk, you can also use evaporated milk, which is what they traditionally use, but I much prefer the coconut milk. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm Angel, thank you so much for watching. And as my grandpa would say, sharing a meal with a fascinating stranger is one of life's true delights. So until we can share that meal together, or the mango pudding, take care, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.